what do you bring to the relationship to attract and keep a man?
Besides, of course, the man asked that.
Yeah, that was a question one of the guys asked me. So that's the first question, guys. So let's say it one more time. What do you bring to the relationship to attract a guy and also keep a guy other than sex? So I'll start it off. Sila, I see. Sila, I see you got something to say. So I guess I'll start with Sila real quick. So go ahead, Sila. Let me know your thoughts.
I really don't feel like a woman would ask that, and it's like not surprising that a man asked that. It's like kind of irritating, but other than sex,
yeah, what do you bring to the table?
Things, like that's so dumb, but I don't even like to say it as like this is what I bring to the table in the relationship. Like this is just like what I bring to the table for myself, and if you are lucky enough to be a part of that, then that's what it's going to be. And so what I bring to the table for myself is that I'm a very independent woman. And so I will never ask anybody for money. I make my own money. I'm a very intelligent woman. I'm a very open-minded person. And also I'm very supportive. Like if I'm dating someone, like I'm there, like I go hard for people that I care about. So like, and I also, like I said, I'm open-minded. So like, I feel like a lot of guys sometimes like they have like these dreams that some people would think it's just like the stupidest dream ever. And so like, I believe like if somebody's passionate about that, then I'll support you and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't really like saying this is what I'll bring to the table for a man because fuck that. It's like, I don't know. I'm a boss ass bitch. That's all you have to know. If you're lucky enough to get to know me and see what I will add to our table, then go you. But like, I don't like that this motherfucker really said, explain what you would bring to the table. I don't know. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, that.
But don't you think that's a legitimate question? Because women do the same thing to men. Like a man has to bring something to the table in order to be with the woman. So that would naturally be for a guy. You guys should also bring something to the table if you're going to be in a relationship. Does that make sense?
Well, I feel like that's what dating's for. You ask somebody on a date, you get to know them as a person and stuff like that, like, and on a personal level. But like just straight up asking, like, what do you bring to the table? That's kind of like I don't know. That's kind of like a bold thing to ask. I don't understand like why people don't go on dates anymore and find out this stuff personally. But
the reason why he asked that question, I don't know if you guys see, there's a lot of girls out there that they think that just having sex and being pretty is the only thing they need to put into the relationship to keep a guy. And I've seen a lot of girls like that, like, I'm pretty, I got that WAP. And and they think that that's all. Like as long like they think a lot of girls out there, they think that all they have to do is just have sex with a guy, and then they're gonna keep him. And that's something I always tell a lot of ladies, like sex is not gonna keep him, man. There's a lot of ladies out there that think that sex is the only thing that keep him, man. I tell them straight up.
Can I answer that? Can I second that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because with me, and I'm gonna be very honest, with me growing up, that's how my mentality was that I should give it up in order for me to keep a man. Exactly. But then as I got older and as I became a mother, it's like, why should I lower my standards like that? Why should I devalue myself like that when I'm worth more than just trying to give it up in order to keep a man if he's not willing to stay with me?
Yeah, and it goes both ways. Like for a guy too, like just because he has like good dick, if you have nothing else besides that, or the woman, like if you got that WAP, what I'm saying, like if all you offer is sex, I'm telling you straight up, it's not gonna keep the guy long term or the girl long term. You have to offer more. What else are you offering besides sex? Because a lot of people think, a lot of young people today or people today think that I'm good looking, all I can, they can have sex with you, and then that's all I need to do. But at the end of the day, it's not going to keep a guy. That's why it's important for people to understand not only what you're bringing to the table, but also what the things that you're bringing to the table are those things, are those traits or those qualities they bring to the table are things that's going to keep a man or keep a woman around.
I think it also depends on like the kind of person, because some people don't really want much from the other person, and some people want a lot from the other person. So I think it just
Like, what do you mean?
depends. Like,
What do you mean a lot, or what do you mean?
so like what somebody brings to I think it just like depends on like what you want in the person that you're dating. I think it all depends, because like if somebody might want somebody who's down to be a housewife, and somebody might want somebody like me who doesn't want to be a housewife and who wants to be like the provider. I think it all just depends on everybody's like what they want in the person that they're dating, like, and stuff like that. I don't think everybody wants like the same things, if that makes sense.
Well, if you understand like for most, like if you understand like the dynamics of what both men and women, it's usually the same thing for what most women are looking for in men and what most men are looking for in women. And I think this is a very good question that I got one of my followers asked, because I feel like I do notice that a lot of women and men also, that they don't understand what the other sex wants, and a lot of the traits they have, a lot of things they do, they don't realize that a lot of things they do are not attractive to women and are not attractive to men. So I'll go off what you said, and just listen to you, Scylla. One of the things that you said was, and these are things I do hear a lot of women would say. You said you were an independent woman. You said that you're a boss, boss babe, boss bitch. I don't know I don't know which one you said. You can handle your own, and I forgot but I think those are the things I think you mentioned when you was mentioning what things do you bring to the table. The thing I would say to you is just being objective, like a lot of the things that you have, those qualities, for majority of the guys, those are not the traits that we're looking for when it comes to attracting a female. Oh, you said the provider. I'm gonna be the main provider. When it comes to a lot of men, those are not the traits that men are necessarily looking for when it comes to women. Because for most guys, what we're looking for, we're looking for a woman's sexuality. For you guys, it's opposite. You guys are looking for what does a man do to provide to the relationship and provide for you and protect you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm still single.
For now. No, because I do it. I don't know if you guys see it, but I do hear a lot of women say like, I'm independent. I don't want a guy to rely on me. I'm my own provider, and they struggle to find a relationship. And I always tell them about the very traits that you have, and not the things. For guys, protecting and providing is our normal love language, of how we show our love and commitment for our women. So when a lot of guys, when independence is a trait that you guys find attracted to a guy, but it's not the same for guys. We don't look at independence the same way you guys look at it. Independence is attractive for you because you want your guy to be independent and provide for you, take care of you as a woman. That's important for you from the man that you're gonna date, in order for you to respect them. But for us as a man, we don't. Independence is something that we respect and I admire, but it's not something that I'm gonna be sexually attracted to you. I'm not like, I've never heard a guy say, "Oh my God, look at that independent woman. I wanna, damn, I wanna sleep with that independent woman. Damn, that woman's so independent. Damn, I wanna have sex with that." Never heard that. Never heard that ever from a any guy. It's always like, look at that beautiful woman. Look at that beautiful woman. Look at that caring woman. Look at that loving woman. That's always the things I hear from guys of the type of girls they look to and they want to like marry or put a ring on their finger and commit to. And a lot of girls I see today is like they have the very things that they bring to the table, like independence, provider. I'm a boss bitch, boss babe. I can do anything on my own. I don't need a man. Those things that they think that's what they bring, but it's not but those are the very things that you bring to the table and the very things that men are not looking for. And that's why I see a lot of women are finding it hard to find a guy. That's my thoughts. Anybody want to answer that?
I don't understand why. Sorry.
Go
ahead. I talk too much.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't understand why independence can't go hand in hand with like just because I'm independent, it doesn't mean that I don't care. Like I'm not a caring, loving person. Like might be an independent person, but I am also like I know how to like, you know what I mean? I think that men are looking for like the typical like wife and mother, but just because somebody is independent doesn't mean that they can't be that. It's just I don't want my partner to feel like I need him. Just know that I want him there, but not that I need him. because I don't feel like you need anybody, but you can want somebody there. But I feel like a lot of men just want to feel like, I don't know, I like the thing like that will like, because like if they leave, then what are you gonna do? Like that's kind of like my thing. But I just don't understand why independence can't coexist with like the motherly traits and wife traits that men are looking for.
No, what the reason why independence is not something that we're not attracted to, because like both men and, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that both men and women are we the same when it comes to what we look for in each other? Let me answer that question. No, right? So there's a thing like for women, you guys like the things you look for a man, you're looking for a man that confidence, a man that's strong, that can protect you, that can provide for you. You want that man to, a lot of women, that's what you want. So what the man brings and protects and provides in his resources and how he makes you feel to be protected, to feel safe, to feel loved, that's what you look for. But for men, it's different because, like I said, we're the ones that's doing the protecting. That's hardwired within us as men. We just feel like that. We want to protect a woman. We want to provide for a woman. We want to take care of her. It's just innate within us. So we're not necessarily looking for the woman to do that for us because we're already doing it. That's what we want to do. So we just want the woman to show us that love, that feminine energy, the love, the kindness, that loyalty. And that's what we look for. So when we see a woman that's very independent, it just, for us, is like, okay, like, how do I fit into that picture? Because I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to provide you. I'm trying to take care of you. But the way you're acting, it'll make it seem like you don't need what I can give. So that's why it's unattractive for a lot of guys when they see a lot of independent women, because for you guys, it's what you look for in a man. But for a man, we just want a woman that loves us, that loves us, loyal to us, have children, start a family, and give us that kindness and that feminine energy we want. And that's all we need from a woman. And if she happens to be independent, that's great. But there is a lot. But the way you said it was like, I'm a boss bitch. I don't know if you guys, I've seen a lot of women that have that, like, this attitude, like, I don't need, like, I'm a boss, I don't need a guy. And then for a lot of guys, like, if we hear that, like, okay, if you don't need me, then I'm gonna go with the woman that needs me, that doesn't have that wall, doesn't have the energy, that's just gonna come, hey, come here, I'm willing to depend on you, then I'm gonna go with her. To Lena, I'm sorry, Lena, that's the same question I asked Sila. So what do you bring to the relationship? What do you bring to the relationship to attract and keep a man other than sex?
So I've never really had the mindset that sex is what keeps a man. I don't know well, I'll let you know right now, I was raised by men, like all men. Like, I barely have any girls around me. There's like one girl per 4 boys in my bloodline, like, and for every sibling. And because I was raised around men and there were some good men, I always saw what I knew I wanted, right? And like, they're very hardworking men. They go out, they make the dough and come back. What I noticed is that most of them, all they wanted to do, they didn't care about all the stuff that you said. Like, I agree with that. They cared about being home. So it's like, it's always worked for me in a sense. I was always that home for them, you know, like, to know that you're mentally and emotionally taken care of here.
Yeah.
You know, like, your battles are out there. Like, but when it comes down to Dad, hold on, I'm on a call. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, Polly.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so that's kind of what I noticed always worked, like, because looking at the men in my family, you know, knowing that everything that they always wanted was to just make sure that, you know, their battles start outside the front doorstep. Yeah. You know, it doesn't start at home. So I've always tried my best to make sure they knew that they could talk to me whenever they want, but I was never pushy about it. You know, even if we had to sit in silence for like 2 hours until you're ready to open up, I was never one to bug talking about, oh, tell me how you feel. I feel like it's a vibe that your dude would naturally feel. You know, he'll naturally know whether he can trust you outside of, you know, these societal barriers when it comes to men. You know, like, everyone's always talking about, oh no, you can't cry. Who the fuck said men can't cry? You know, if you're crying all the time, we gonna talk, you know. But you know, I've always been like that, like a kind of like a best friend, like a little sanctuary for them. That usually works for me. Like, yeah.
Okay. So I was trying to figure out, so what specific things that you bring to the relationship?
Okay. I definitely agree with Sila when she was talking about like independence and like being intelligent and all that. One thing I will say is like I never stamp it. When it comes down to like to my whole relationship, I carry my own weight emotionally, and I'm a very accountable person. So when I come down and I get into a relationship, the first thing I talk about is accountability. You know, I'm super
Okay.
open-minded when it comes to stuff like that. But the financials and stuff, that's a given. Like it's already there. You know, I'll step in for you emotionally. I'm just like that best friend there.
Okay. All right. So no, those are, I mean, just listening to what you said, those are things I believe a lot of men, you know, they just want the woman to be a best friend, to be there emotionally for him.
Yeah.
I love what you said. You know, for a lot of guys, you know, we have to go out there in the world and fight and conquer the world and do what we have to do to take care of our families. So when we come home, we just want our woman to be there and just give us that communication, that love, because we're already dealing with the bullshit at work and all the things that we go through as men. Shoot, you even said it also, like we can't even cry. That's society. That's the society we live in. So for a lot of guys, like we can't cry. We like, if you cry, if you show vulnerability, if you're emotional, that's you're seen as you're demasculated. You're seen as weak. You're seen as not worthy as a man. So that's why I bring it to you, to your standpoint, Sila. That's why we're always craving for the woman that's the more feminine woman that's not independent, because for us, we just want that emotional love. Like, you know, when we come home, we don't, but one thing I do notice, like independent women, like you guys, we don't want to come home and then like arguing what this is. We just want to come home and have peace, and our woman be there to support us. And of course we're gonna have ups and downs, but that's what we're looking for. Just come home, and then we get that love from the love from you. But that's why for us is independence for a lot of, I'm not saying all, but like for a lot of independent women. I think you said it. Who said it? Was it Sia? You said there was a fear. There's a fear that to allow another man to come into your life to take care of your kids, right? And
That's what it is.
yeah. So one thing I've noticed about a lot of independent women, you guys have this fear. So it's very hard for you to be emotional, to give your emotions to another man, because there's this fear within you. So because you're not willing to be available emotionally, and you have this strong mentality, masculine mentality and energy, then for a lot of guys, when we see that, we see that we can't break through that barrier that you have, so we can't access you emotionally. But that's the thing that's the very thing that we need from the woman that we want. We want to be able to access her emotions. But because you guys have that fear, that wall, like, nah, like I do see a lot of women, independent women, they have. That's why for guys, like, nah, that's cool. And then I'm gonna go with the girl like Lena just described. This girl's willing to open up her heart to me. This girl's willing to be dependent on me. This girl's willing to show me her emotions, her love. Then that's what men are looking for. So that's why I think that's the thing I do to see this a lot. There's modern day dating. I think a lot of Polynesian women have that. They have this like independence mentality or attitude, or a lot of them have this fear. Nah, I can't show the guy my emotions because I don't want him to break my heart. I don't want him to because I don't want him to disappoint me, whatever that reason is. And because you live that way, then you're like eliminating a lot of men to be attracted to you. Then the woman then out there just being really open and showing her love, her care, that's the woman that a lot of guys are attracted to. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right, it goes good with this.
I get it. Like,
I think it's
I totally agree.
that.
Going back onto the part where you said like a man would rather prefer like a woman that's dependent, I don't know if I would agree with that, because I noticed that no matter like you can go with some, I think what I feel like you're trying to say, or correct me if I'm wrong, is like you'd rather go for like there's nothing wrong with having an independent woman, but an independent woman that oversteps her role like in the relationship, that's when things start to go south, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. So what I was said, I'll make it simple. So for men, what we want what we want from women is access to your sexuality. That's what men want. For you guys, you guys want what you guys want from men. You guys want access to what our resources and what we can bring to the table to provide and protect for you. So that's the difference. That's how we see. That's what we look for in relationships. For guys, we don't care how much money you make. We don't care whether you go to college or not. That doesn't matter to us. That doesn't diminish your worth and value. whether you have a good job, whether you go to college. We just want access to your sexuality, to your love, to your kindness, to your sincerity, to your emotions, because that's what we want from a woman. For you guys, for women, you want access to a man's what he does to be able to provide and protect you. You want your man to protect you, provide you, make you feel safe, and that's the type of man that you guys want. So the problem with independence is, you said independence has nothing to do with your sexuality as a woman. So that's the problem. That's why guys are not attracted to independent women, because we're attracted to your sexuality. So independence is not your sexuality. So we are always going to be attracted to a woman that we be able to be sexually open to us, but not only on a physical level, but mental level, emotional level, spiritual level. So she's willing to open up her sexuality to me, not only physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. That's the woman I'm more attracted to, but not the woman that's closed off her sexuality because she has this fear like the guy's is gonna come in and break your heart, or she has this independent attitude or mentality. Oh, I don't need a guy. That has nothing to do with sexuality. Right. I mean, because a lot of the, like, I'm sure you guys see it. I see a lot of independent women, absolutely like beautiful, got good jobs, got good careers. They have all these things, but they can't even attract a guy. But the problem is, the reason why they can't attract a guy is because they don't allow men to have access to them, to their sexuality, and that's what's stopping them for a man to come into their life.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, Sila, before I go to Sia, do you want to say anything? Do you want to respond? Sila?
Sorry, I was thinking there's somebody else ID. Sila, you got your ID on?
Sila, do you want to say anything? Sila.
Oh no,
I
get what you're saying. It's not me wanting to be the financial provider. It's not so much that I'm afraid that a man's gonna come in and break my heart. It's just that like I grew up broke, and I grew up with nothing, and so I worked my ass off to make sure that I could give myself everything, because I grew up with nothing. And that's like not trying to shame my parents or anything, but like I didn't grow up with a lot. And so like it's just like the fear that like I've worked so hard for this that like I don't want to like, because like when I was a kid, obviously like my financial dependency was like I was financially dependent on them. And so like it's just a fear that like if I give up this spot of me being the financial provider, it's just like the fear that I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, so I just like, that's why, because like I worked really hard to get where I'm at in life, and I don't want to like have to give that up, if that makes sense. But also like if like how I was saying earlier, how like I'm working hard and stuff like that. If a man is working hard too, like if they're going to school and stuff and they like worked hard to have a career, I'll never ask a man to give up their career. I'll never ask anybody to give up their career to fit the mold that I want. So like it's just like it depends on everybody. Like if like somebody that I fell in love with didn't want me to be the sole provider, like I'd be willing to compromise and be like, and just like go half and half on it. But like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's just like, it's not that I'm afraid that somebody's going to come in and break my heart, but it's just that I'm afraid that like, I'll end up where I started. And I don't want that just because I worked my ass off to get where I'm at, if that makes sense.
No, I totally understand where you're coming from. Like for me, like I have nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong with being independent. Like, you know, I admire women and men are independent. But this is the thing that I would say. Women who tend to be more independent, you guys tend to make it harder for a guy to have access to you sexually. You make them work harder than they should.
I think that might hold some truth. Yeah. Not for me, but I think that might hold some truth. Who I am at work and who I am at home is like a completely different person.
I've just seen that like when a lot of those independent women, like they have this fear of letting this guy come into their life. So when they do meet a good guy, right? Because they have all these fears and walls, they make it harder for them to have access to them sexually. So, but one thing I've noticed for like women who are not independent and dependent, and they don't have this fear, it's easy. So when I meet them, we talk, we vibe, we connect, we're able to emotionally be able to have emotional intimacy, and we feel that love. each other. So it's easier for me to be with that woman. So that's why I would say for independent women, for when guys meet independent women, we just know that it's gonna take a lot more work to get to know you. So,
Yeah,
but the thing is, in today, in 2021, in modern day dating, there's so many options, right? So if I got like multiple options and this woman is independent and making it harder for me, and then this option number 2 is giving me all the love and emotional access to her sexuality, all I need from her, I'm naturally just gonna go to the girl that's making it easier for me to get to know her and not putting these walls and attitude and energy out there. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, that's me. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. So you're pretty much gonna have to, like, you're banking on that one guy that's gonna just go. That's gonna just go. I'm gonna conquer her. I'm gonna go all these, whatever you put in front of you. So I'm just saying is for dating, it's all about, maximizing on your potential candidates. You want to be able to be available to everybody so you can select, the best partner for you. But if you make it hard for yourself, then that means it's only a select few of guys that has to be willing to overcome all those things that you're going to put them through just to get too close to your heart. And the thing is, a lot of guys ain't willing to do that, especially today. That's going to take a guy that's very persistent, very confident to do that. And there's not a lot of guys out there that's willing to do that. So, and that's just the thing I do notice.